Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, actually, Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. So I feel really good right now because, as I mentioned in my last couple of videos, I really gave up on my so-called friends at the board game meetup because last week they refused. I don't know if it's refused or apathy, but they did not play Ticket to Ride Berlin with me. And I almost didn't want to go to the meetup today. And I decided to go anyway. There's one... I would have given up going to that meetup, except there's a distant cousin of Taylor Swift that I like there. And I went. Funny thing is that Taylor Swift didn't show up, but I decided to mess with the rest of them because, again, I'd given up on them. And they were playing another very long game that I had no interest in, and I said, can I understand what you're going to play next? Because last week I had a significant meltdown because I waited 3 hours for you guys to finish whatever game, and you guys never got to a game that I liked. I just want to set my expectations, see if I want to stick around, and I kind of laid it all down to them. I normally would not do this to a group of people that I actually cared about. And to my surprise, it did not go badly. I mean, we didn't play Ticket to Ride, but we did play another game that I liked. It was a deck builder game. I can't remember what the name of that game is. And I'm so proud of myself for speaking up. Now, unfortunately, I had the luxury of doing that at the board game meetup because I didn't care all that much. Even the distant cousin of Taylor Swift, I knew Taylor Swift has a big family, right? The chances are going to meet another one of her cousins anyway. So I wasn't too concerned about risking that, right? And you know, I before I even talked to these people at the board game meetup, I asked myself, Peter, do you want to be around people who are not going to listen, or do you want to ask once and see if it's done with, right? And so I went in there with the mindset that I'm going to either find out that these are okay people to be with, or find out that they're not, and then find some other activity to do every Friday night. I went in there with that kind of attitude, and that turned out really well. Now it's really funny. I live in an Airbnb right now, and I have a few roommates who I sometimes don't get along with 100%, right? I had one that we almost came to blows until he left the Airbnb. He was managing the place and got fired. But the others, sometimes there's little corners to mess with, right? And the other week, I was going back to Airbnb to kind of look around at other options. And there are some Airbnbs that will let you reserve, and as long as you cancel within 24 to 72 hours before check-in date, that's fine, right? There's no penalty for that. And so I decided to browse around, and I reserved one that I thought would be really good, and that was like a week, 2 weeks out. Now, it also helps that here in Phoenix, it's like 80-some degrees, and I also know if the owner wants to get me out of here, now that I've been here 30 days, she's not going to be able to do it overnight, right? There's going to be a 72-hour or some number of hours notice, right? So I knew I had a lot of a big cushion to fall back on with between the reservation and the fact that I have tenants' rights here. I had a good cushion to fall back on, and so when I went to talk to my unpleasant roommates, or when I went to complain to the owner about something, about one of those unpleasant roommates, I spoke a lot more confidently. And unfortunately, I have yet to be able to do any of this at my workplaces. I love my job, I love the students especially, but more importantly, I love the way I'm treated by my colleagues as one of the team, right? I'm not treated as different for my difference in lifestyle orientation and all that, and that's a tough thing to come by at work, for me at least. I have not always had the luxury of being accepted for who I am at work, and which is why I need to accumulate more financial independence, right? Which is a tough one because accumulate more financial independence often also means sacrificing on going to these events, because I mean the board game meetup is on the way. The only thing I have for me is that board game meetup is on the way on the drive back from work, right? So I'm not really spending extra gas money, but some other things are not like that, right? And so it's a tough one, right? But then I remind myself that's why not only am I investing in the financial independence, I'm also investing in keeping my body young, so that 10 years from now, I'll be financially free and I'll still be 17 years old. Right? Go look at my video. I talked about goals for the next decade. Anyways, I can't wait for the day when something happens at work and I can confidently speak up. It's this way or else, right? Or else I can leave, right? I wish I could do that. Just like I did at the board game meetup today, just like I did beautifully at this Airbnb. I ended up canceling that reservation on Airbnb, by the way. But having that thing on there really changed the dynamics of the discussion. This is the Peter Leicht Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Leicht Show. Bum 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 bum.